Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Sandeep Pednikar, and you're watching One Universe, the show based on the nonprofit One Universe that fosters positivity through the promotion of love, peace, and harmony. And talking about love, peace, and harmony and doing things for the community, we have the Shelby County Treasurer, Miss Regina Morrison Newman.
Yes.
So, thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Of course, it's an honor. And there are a whole lot of things that you are doing, your office is doing for the benefit of Shelby County. But let us start, and I ask you to introduce yourself to our guests.
Absolutely. I'm Regina Newman, and I have been in office about 6 years. Prior to that, I was a lawyer by trade. So I came to Memphis in 1975 or so to go to college. Went to what was then Southwestern and is now Rhodes. And swore when I got out I'd never sit in another class. So went and practiced civil service for a while, and that was at the Housing and Community Development Agency, and eventually moved to the treasurer's office at the city of Memphis. So I was assistant treasurer for several years and was asked to come to Nashville and work for the Department of Revenue there. So I've collected taxes for the city, and I collected taxes for the state. And while I was in Nashville, I went to law school and came back here in 1994 and started practicing law for about 15 years. Wasn't running for anything ever, wasn't doing anything. And the trustee at the time passed away. And anybody who remembers Bob Patterson was the fellow who passed away, and his assistant then became trustee. And then he passed away. And so someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, well, you've collected all these taxes. You can do this. And so the county commission appointed me to be the trustee back in 2009. And so I served for a year, and there was election, and Mr. Lenore got elected. And so then he was trustee. The county's only ever had 5 of us, and I've been it twice. So in 2018, they asked me again to run for trustee. I ran for trustee, and so I've been here again since 2018.
So yeah, it's an honor, definitely, to be in this position, and an honor for the county that you are here serving a second term.
I try.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're doing it, not just trying, I'll add. And you're doing a good job. So let us talk about what work is being done through the office itself.
Okay, well, we have certain duties under the Constitution of the state of Tennessee and the Charter of Shelby County and the statutes. So we have the duties that everybody knows about. We collect property taxes. We serve as the county's banker. We handle about $4.5 billion every year. All of the funds, every county has a trustee, and all of the funds that go up to the state flow through the trustee as the bank for the county, and all the funds that come down from the state, like sales tax, etc., that go to all our local cities, all 7 of our cities and all of our school systems flow through the trustee, and we send those monies out. So those are the things we have to do. We also invest all the county's money. So all of the investment portfolio that is handled by Shelby County, $1.5 billion or so, is handled in the trustee's office. We have a goal of beating the state's portfolio every year. We do it most of the time.
Nice.
On our investment interest for everyone. And so that makes your taxes stay lower. If the more portfolio interest we can bring in, the lower the taxes stay. And so those are things we have to do. But so I came into office, and okay, we set new records for collections. We reduced our delinquent collections over the past 6 years by $23 million.
So please explain that.
When the county goes to collect taxes every year and they set their budget, they set a tax rate. And so essentially the office had in the past collected 95 to 96% within the first year of the taxes that were billed. And we now collect 97.5%.
Okay.
So in the past 6 years, we've we've beat the record, set new records 4 times.
Okay, very
So
nice. Very nice.
we
Okay.
now plan to collect 97%. Hope it works every year, even during COVID. And so, but over the course of a couple of years, we're collecting 99.9%. So that's always a good thing, and not leaving a lot of taxes out there on the table. And we have an amount of delinquent taxes that the county has, and when I took office, it was 23 million more than it is now. So I just made my annual report to the commission to say we have dug into that by $23 million, and that's how much more money we've collected than before. So when the county needs things, hopefully we can provide them.
Very good. Very
so when we take care of the collections and the investments and making sure all our audits are up to date, if anybody wants to know what the trustee's office does, our website is shelbycountytrustee.com. And all our reports are there, monthly reports, daily reports, revenue reports, investment reports, pilot reports. All the reports are there annually, whatever. And so we try to be as transparent as possible. So we feel like we had great success in these areas. So we moved on to a couple of other things. Instead of sitting on my laurels, we got to go and do something for the community, right? So we got a grant 5 years ago to open the Greater Memphis Financial Empowerment Center. And this is a free service to any Shelby County resident. It is one-on-one financial counseling. It's not a workshop. It's not a seminar. You get a counselor. I tell everybody it's kind of like Weight Watchers. So you get a counselor to help you through the process. They're certified, they're confidential, and they're free. And I have to say that a lot. Everybody says, well, how much do I have to pay? It's free. So it's a government service. It's a United Way Driving the Dream agency. It is a nonprofit in partnership with Rise Memphis, which has been doing this work for a long time. And so over the course of the last 5 years, we've served over 1,700 clients. And it is grant funded. So pretty much your tax dollars have not had to pay for it. And those clients have now saved over $500,000. These are middle class working moms for the most part. And so they have been able to save over $500,000. They have eliminated over $4.8 million in non-mortgage debt.
Okay, very nice.
In 5 years.
And the criteria for them to be part of it is?
Show up and make an appointment.
No, but there has to be a financial need.
No.
Okay, so
anyone in Shelby County who feels like they need to improve their credit score, get into a bank account, get a budget in order, pay off debt, generate savings, generate some get ready to buy a house, generate some generational wealth. Anybody in Shelby County, doesn't matter where you live in Shelby County, and our clients we've mapped them, and they're in every zip code. And they don't have to have an income limit or anything like that. All they have to do is show up. But our average client is an African-American woman with children, head of household, making around $36,000.
Okay.
And so that's just average. And so these are not rich people for the most part.
Right.
We've even had homeless people come in because they want to get an apartment. So we feel like the program's been very beneficial. We want to continue it every year. It's having great success. When we did that, we got an extra counselor during COVID on a grant. So we were able to expand the program. They operate by appointment. We meet them where they are. If we have 3 clients in Fraser who want to meet, one of the counselors will be in Fraser. If we had them in Hickory Hill, Whitehaven, Midtown, wherever, Germantown, Bartlett. So very excited about that program. Out of that program grew another one on a grant. And this is what we do. We go out and apply for grants. And so we have a consumer financial protection program. And everybody may be familiar with this because I'm on the media every month about talking about wallet warnings. Wallet warnings are the education portion of this program because Shelby Countyans were getting scammed more than anyone else in the country. A lot of it is targeted to senior citizens, which we don't need. And a lot of these scams are targeted to everybody in Shelby County. You may recall reading sometimes Shelby County has the most generous charitable giving people in the country. they are also scammed the most.
Right.
And whether it's a charitable giving scam or an online shopping scam or this month's Bitcoin cryptocurrency scams, I appear on media and on radio every month and in the newspaper to tell everybody how to avoid them, how to save their money.
Mm-hmm.
This office secures the county's money. That's our job.
Mm-hmm.
We want to help you secure yours. So wallet
you're
warnings
going
are very
over
important.
and beyond.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Last year, we started, it was kind of just an accident. One of the schools asked our program coordinator, Molly Pilati, to show up and talk to high school seniors. We talk about seniors a lot. Senior citizens, show up and talk to high school seniors about adulting, how to do a bank account, how to write a check, how to not get in trouble with credit, financial education, adulting. So we called it Adulting 101. And it was at Overton High School. And the kids loved it. And it kind of became this, why don't we offer this to all the high school seniors in Shelby County? So this February, we worked with the school system. And we had a huge event called the Adulting 101 Showcase for high school seniors out at the Agri Center.
Okay.
And the school system picked 15 schools and over 1,000 students and bussed them in. And they were able to not only meet with people to help them through how to get registered to vote, how to get a bank account, how to do all these things you have to do when you graduate from high school and become a responsible adult, but also maybe you don't want to go to college. And we had over 50 exhibitors on career opportunities for the kids where you don't have to have college.
Okay.
So
very nice.
Whether it was the music industry or cosmetology, military, fire and police, banking. The banking guys were there, so they did banking too. All kinds of opportunities, or to help them get something for college, but just let them know what the opportunities were. You don't have to go back to your house and do nothing and work at McDonald's. You can do all these various jobs. Right. It was so wonderful that we are planning on making it an annual event, and
Very
we've
nice.
partnered with the school system, Memphis Shelby County Schools, and we have a new partner, which is the Associated Builders and Contractors, who want to come and talk about all the building trades. We had a lot of conversation about the building trades. You don't have to have a college degree. Building trades have paid apprenticeships for students, and they make a lot of money when they're done. Really? Whether they're carpenters or plumbers or electricians or whatever. Right. And they're going to bring heavy equipment to the next one. So next year, I hope to double this with the school system to have over 2,000 students and over 100 vendors, exhibitors, and give even more. Because the program was over this February, Molly and I were both going, oh, well, we should have had so-and-so. We should have done this. So now we have a big, long list of all the things that we thought we missed that might be better. But this is, the students were very engaged, very involved. They had good questions for all the exhibitors. And how does this job work? And what do I need to do to get it? And so anything we can do to help our students to graduate into adulthood, being successful, getting some money in the bank. It helps all of Shelby County. So we've been very excited about this program. And so we're already working on it for next year. And so that'll be in February, probably again at the Agri Center. It's a huge place with all the space. Similar to wallet warnings, anything we can do to help our senior citizens and our regular citizens. We also have some programs that the trustee's office has always had about property tax, and that is there's a tax relief program, and there is an income limit set by the state for that. It's the state's program, and it's for senior citizens, disabled citizens, and disabled veterans. And so if people meet the income criteria, then the state would pay part of their taxes. What the county had never done until 4 years ago was match it. A lot of counties and cities match the amount of tax relief paid. So I got the county commission to approve the matching program in partnership with the mayor. And then the next 3 years, we've had to go fight over it a little bit, but this is the fourth year. 2024 tax bills will be in the mail in a couple of weeks. And the tax relief matching program is again working. And I am hoping to take an ordinance to the county commission because they really do want to continue the program. It helps a lot of people stay in their homes, whether disabled or senior citizens or our veterans. And we really are pleased with that, being able to expand that and do it for 4 years in a row. So that amount just pays taxes for some people, pays their bill in full. It's about $200, $250 from the state and the same amount from the county. So it doesn't cost the county a lot of money, but we don't need our seniors and our disabled people losing their houses because they didn't pay their taxes.
Yeah.
So that was number one. The tax freeze program is another program. So you can get your property taxes frozen if you're a senior citizen, and that had a little higher income limit set by the state. But what it did was, if you met the criteria and you apply every year, then essentially it didn't matter if your assessment went up or if the county commission raised the tax rate, your bill was frozen.
Okay, and but you have to apply every year.
Okay. You have to apply every year for both programs because they're income-based, so you have to prove your income. But what we were able to do this year was the income limit has been raised to $60,000 for senior citizens.
Okay.
That is a lot of senior citizens. We don't even know how many, but that is a lot of senior citizens in this county.
Okay, but how many avail of this benefit?
On the tax relief program, there have been about 8,500 people. Okay. We had over 9,100 applications this year in spring.
Okay.
So when the tax season starts, which is about now, and there'll be brochures going out. Your tax bill will come, and you'll get a little brochure. It looks like this. We're changing our color, so blue and green this year, and it'll have all the information. And the applications will go up on our website, or you can call us and get one, and the phone number will be in there. And when that happens, you can apply. And your applications for the two programs are not due until next April 5th, normally. So you've got plenty of time to apply. And as long as you apply every year, you get eligibility for the program, hopefully, if you meet the criteria. You got to live in your house. We're not paying tax relief for everybody who's not living in their own house and have a bunch of rental property. No, this is for people who are living in their house. And but we're looking forward to how many senior citizens are going to be on the tax freeze program since the income limit's going up to $60,000. It was $43,000 something last year. So that's a lot of people.
Definitely.
We don't know how many people that is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then we also worked on the wheel tax rebate program. Y'all will remember last year the commission raised the wheel tax for general citizens from $50 to $75. So the rebate was raised to $75. The rebate program had been in effect since the 90s. The problem was that no one ever raised the income limit. The income limit in the 90s was set at $25,000 for senior citizens and people with disabled tags. And it was still last year set at $25,000. And so we went to the commission and say, if you're going to raise the wheel tax, please put this income limit on a sliding scale. And so it is now tied to average income in Shelby County, and it's about $36,000 and something this year, but it will be adjusted every year so that people can get on it, because almost nobody even knew about the wheel tax. That you can apply in our office and get your wheel tax back. So you may have to pay $75, but now you can get your $75 back in total. So,
and that is for people who have an annual income of less than $36,000.
It's about $36,000 and change for the coming year. So that's already on our website because that started July 1st. So the income limit will change every July 1st. And so that's for senior citizens and disabled people who have disabled tags.
And our intention, of course, is for our listeners to learn about it and tell others who can take advantage of it.
Absolutely. So, in the course of trying to do that, we know that when we send out tax bills, we include information in here. And that's great because the people who pay taxes are getting the information on the
Mm-hmm.
tax programs. But then there was the wheel tax rebate program. That kind of applies to a whole bunch of other people who may not even own property or hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a lot of government services that nobody knew anything about. So we did something different 3 years ago.
Okay.
And that was we got together with the mayor and we did a senior services booklet. And it's called Shelby County Cares. And we mailed it to 100,000 senior citizen households. And it's got all kinds of programs in it, programs to get your home repaired, programs at the health department. If you have food instability, you can't get food, programs for seniors who can't get out. And this year we did it again and we doubled the size of the booklet.
Wow.
It's got everything in one place. And, you know, a lot of our senior citizens, I mean, perhaps you and I are senior citizens and we go on the internet and we know how to work it. But a lot of senior citizens don't have email and they don't go on the internet. So we thought the mail was the best way to do it. It takes a little longer, but the senior citizen booklets are being mailed out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we don't yet have the supply from the printer for office. When they finish mailing them, we'll get the rest, but we'll make sure that every community center and senior center and library and your county commissioners will have copies, and we will get more as we need them. But 107,000 booklets are being mailed out right now to senior citizens that have programs, government-sponsored programs for you. They're free. That have other nonprofit programs like MIFA and Habitat for Humanity and things like this that you can get help from if you need it. And so all the programs work differently, but the wheel tax rebate is in there so that people will know about it. And we've already gotten calls from people who got the booklet in the mail. This is great, etc. I'm getting texts. All my friends who are over 65.
So you mean to say that you and I will have to wait for another 30 years to take advantage of it?
That's what I mean.
Exactly, yeah.
I have a birthday Sunday. I'll be 25 again.
Wow. Okay, cool. Well, happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. But so we have been trying to do that. So we wanted to also talk about a couple other programs. So those are the main ones that we've been working on. We also have a program called Bank on Memphis. We work with a group of bankers in Memphis to try to get people banked. It was very successful, and this has been going on for about 10 years, but it was very successful during COVID because if people wanted their stimulus checks, instead of waiting for them in the mail, they could go get a bank account. So we have a group of participating banks, and essentially they offer specific accounts that are approved by the Bank on Coalition that are low income, affordable, don't gig you every time you may bounce a check. You can open one even though you may have bounced a check in the past. And it's very important for people to be banked. Don't stick your cash in your mattress. Don't stick your cash in your mattress. Get into a real banking relationship with a bank or a credit union. Then you can have a debit card. You can do things that other people do. And so the Bank on Memphis is very important. And we measure that over time. Shelby County has way too many unbanked folks. And we would like to decrease that number. And the other program that we're doing, because we're kind of all over the scale here. We do things for senior citizens, and then we do the high school seniors Adulting 101 program. And we also have a program that we send our program coordinator, Molly, out. It's called On My Own, and it's a financial simulation for high school students and college students. And essentially they're given like a scenario. It's kind of like a little job fair. And they say, okay, well, here, you're supposedly married and you have 2 kids, or you're divorced and you owe child support, or whatever your situation is, and here's how much you make a month. And here's where you get housing, and you can go over and get your choice of housing at this little booth. And here's where you get food, and here's where you get transportation and all this. And they find out real quick that the money doesn't go very far if you make bad choices. So if you get the big fancy car over here And the the bankers help with this simulation. This is another thing that really engages the kids, and they really like it. So the students are really into this. And Molly has done hundreds of these simulations for the community college and high schools over the past few years. And so we're very pleased with the on my own simulation. One young lady wrote a nice letter in, and she called it On My Way. On My Way is a good term too, so she could be on her way. But
Nice.
they enjoy it, and it's a learning prospect of like, okay, well, how do I make this money stretch? Or maybe I can get more education, get a better job, and then I can get the house I want and the transportation I want. And if I buy the big car, I can't have the house I want. And so it's a learning process. But
Very nice.
more and more things as time goes by that we come up with, so that people can get on firm financial ground. We want to keep the county on firm financial ground,
Mm-hmm.
and we want all our citizens to be on firm financial ground. And the sooner we start with them, whether they're high school students or seniors or
Of course.
whatever,
Yeah.
get out and go out and be on firm financial ground. Don't get in trouble with credit. We warn people about predatory lenders. We want to move into the legislative area on our consumer financial protection and try to help with the law
Mm-hmm.
and the enforcement of the law, so that the scammers get run out of town. The people who steal your money,
Yes.
and I'm talking about not your general thieves,
Right.
but the people who are scamming you by getting you to text something, email something, click on the wrong link,
Right.
and steal your money. We want them to go away.
Yeah. So I want our listeners to understand that apart from the job that you are hired for, you are going over and beyond, making good things in and for the community. So definitely the people thank you. We thank you. What are the other things that people can look forward to?
I have 2 years left. My brain hasn't stopped working yet. We've done so much over the past 6 years. We've started offering, just in terms of the job we're hired for, started offering e-billing, pay by phone.
Mm-hmm.
We've got over 90,000 people who pay on the Pay at 901 app. So electronic payments are a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
They became bigger during COVID, so people didn't have to get out.
Mm-hmm.
We've increased the number of locations that we have during tax season. We only have one office, but we send out remote cashiers during tax season. I want to grow the Adulting 101 till we can get to the point of maybe hosting all the graduating high school
Right. Yeah.
seniors.
Mm-hmm.
There are about 4,000, I understand, every year. So that is a lot of kids to influence.
Mm.
And I've had people on radio shows who said, "Yeah, nobody even taught my child how to write a check. He got out of high school and didn't know how to write a check."
Mm-hmm.
Not that we use checks a lot,
Right.
but
Right.
but there
Yeah.
you go. They all use their phones, and just to know the differences between maybe using Venmo and Cash App and being in a bank, because some protections are there and some aren't, and so we don't want people to get scammed. So we want to increase what we're doing on the financial protection side, the consumer financial
Mm-hmm.
protection side, and maybe work on the laws and work on the enforcement of the laws, and continue with the education part, which is the wallet warnings. And it seems to be growing. People seem to be familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
I get comments all the time, as I do 2 radio shows at least, and a TV show, and the newspaper every month. So we're very pleased with that. And nobody's dropped us yet. We just keep going. We're going to be on the library channel in the coming
Good.
weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then what else might I come up with? I'm not quite sure yet.
Good.
But
Good.
anything that will help, if we can participate in something that will help.
Mm-hmm.
The staff here is very generous with their time and money.
Mm.
They work very hard here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got staff members who have been here 40 years. They've been
Wow.
around a long time.
Wow.
They know their taxpayers.
Mm-hmm.
They help the same people every year, but they're very generous with we have a charity fund. So just in the past, sometime this month, we gave money to a back to school drive to help with backpacks and school supplies and that kind of thing.
Nice.
So
Mm-hmm.
we try to do that. We try to do United Way in a big way every year. Our Financial Empowerment Center is the United Way Driving the Dream program. So if you walk in there, this is my goal from the beginning, other than just the financial one-on-one counseling. I want it to be a resource center so that if you walk in there and you need other help that's not financially related, maybe you need food, maybe you need a lawyer, maybe you have a domestic violence problem, that all the counselors know where to send somebody so that they can get the government sponsored help they need or the nonprofit sponsored help they need, and change lives. That sounds like a big deal. I mean, I don't fight crime. I'm not out fighting fires. This is not a first responder office, and I can't do a lot to fight crime. But we can try to get people on firm financial ground, and then maybe we help a little.
Yeah. Yes. That it's. I think one life changed is a huge thing, and when you go ahead and change so many lives, that's very impactful. So I definitely also want to give a shout out to Joseph Lee,
Yes.
who managed to bring me to your office to get this interview, and also to Molly. And she has been sitting here throughout the interview.
Very quietly for Molly.
May I ask Miss Molly to come into the frame,
Come on, Miss
please,
Molly.
and say hi?
Here, sit here.
Yes.
Sit here and I'll stand behind.
Oh.
So I wanted to say thank you for mentioning Director Lee. He is our Director of Remittance. So the cashier area is his baby, and he's been with us about 5 years. So we're very pleased to have him.
And he helps a lot when we've got community events that we
does.
can't go to.
Right, and he was there also for the picnic where we talked, and I was part of the organizing committee for the picnic last year, and it is something that I know that I put myself in, going in the community, doing things for everybody, and to know that there are people from the community, but there are people from the government who go out and do extended work than what they're supposed to, is something that I appreciate a whole lot.
And we appreciate you, what you're doing. Yes.
Thank you.
So this is Molly Pilati. She's our government program coordinator, and she kind of rides over all of our various programs. And I come up with crazy ideas, and she makes sure they happen. And
Or I come up
or
with
she
crazy
comes up with them,
ideas, and I have to get her to let me do them. Yeah, we have the Bank on Memphis Coalition is partnering with United Way Driving the Dream agencies this and also the Memphis CRA group this fall. We're going to do an event at the main library called Creating Win-Win Partnerships.
Okay, and what would that entail?
That is going to be the financial institutions that are involved in the Bank on Memphis Coalition and the Memphis CRA group being available to share with nonprofits that are invited how that they can create win-win partnerships, how the financial institutions can help the nonprofits with volunteerism, getting banked for their clients, also potentially dollars, but that's not the main reason. And the nonprofits will understand how a partnership with a financial institution can help the financial institution with CRA credit and helping, as Regina said, our whole goal is to help people be more financially stable and economically mobile. The lower the poverty rate in Memphis and Shelby County, the more people will own homes and the more people will pay property taxes. So we will have the money that we need without continuing to raise property taxes or sales tax or something like that. So that's our whole goal.
Very nice. So ladies and gentlemen, as you saw, this is a group of people that is doing good for the community apart from what they ought to do. So thanks to you all.
Thank you.
And I want to appreciate you, our listeners, because you follow us and see to it that what we promote is really something that is good for the community no matter what. And we have listeners from all over the world. So this video will also go to different parts of the world. and we would like to have your feedback. If you have suggestions, just because they do not have too much things to do, so so if you have some suggestions of more ways to impact the community, that would also be good. But if you can send thanks to what they do and appreciate what they do, that would be really great. So thank you again. Until next time, have a great time. And when you join in, know that we are going to be talking about something that will be motivational and inspiration for you to implement in your areas and regions wherever you live. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye.